From promoting adult content in spaces where children watch, to pledging $1 million to Mr. Beast's Team Water campaign,
I want to donate $1 million is what I want to donate.
Wait.
Sophie Rain has built her career on contradictions, and here's how she manipulates the entire internet to her advantage. Sophie first started her OnlyFans account in May 2023 after losing her minimum wage waitressing gig. However, what stood out wasn't just what she posted, but how quickly she gained traction. In a matter of months, she amassed millions of followers across TikTok and Instagram, which would later form the core of her audience. Yet, those moments did more than rack up views. They placed her face and name into the algorithm's current pace, pulling in an audience curious enough to follow her across platforms. And this was the first thread in what would become a much larger persona. As her following grew, Sophie began shaping a narrative around herself that felt intentionally paradoxical.
I'm a Christian. Like, I know it's like, it seems odd. I'm doing, what did you call it? OnlyFans? They went to my manager and said that I was doing porn and saying I was a porn star and that I'm doing crazy stuff, which I never have. I'm a virgin. Like, I'm a virgin to this day. Like,
this presentation played into a narrative that felt unexpected and contradictory for someone who was sharing highly sexualized content. This obviously did not sit well with the public, as none of her claims made sense. Saying, "That's what she says cause mommy and daddy are watching. Saying you are Christian is crazy work." Almost at the same time, explicit TikTok posts began gaining traction. People soon pointed out the growing tension between her expressed moral identity and what she posted for views. That tension quickly became content in itself, a reason for people to tune in and see how she'd reconcile those claims with the visuals she was putting out. The intrigue deepened when she shared a screenshot that began circulating in late 2024. It appeared to show Sophie's account earnings were $43 million in a single year. Some clips from her interviews even revealed how much she was making a month.
I just need to know, like, how much are you making a month? I actually, like, kind of tearing up. $4 million? $4 million in a month? Yeah. 400,000 the last 7 days, in case you were...
This was shocking in its sheer scale, and obviously, she was slammed by the public, who started commenting things like, "Making more than a doctor just doesn't feel right. You should be ashamed of yourself." That number alone would have been enough to spark fascination, but Sophie didn't stop there. In later posts through 2025, she confirmed even higher earnings, which were too high to believe if it was real.
No one believes me, but it is very true.
She has made $82 million in the last year and a half.
The size of those numbers kept her in the headlines even while people debated how accurate they really were. However, around the same period, another moment tested and ultimately reinforced her ability to turn scandal into strategy. A Spider-Man themed video surfaced, showing someone in costume in a compromising position. It quickly spread online, with many attributing it to Sophie, but she publicly denied being the person in the video.
and then the Spider-Man video thing came up, and it's actually not me in the Spider-Man video. It's another girl. Her name's Naomi. People took that and said that I was Naomi in her video with her Spider-Man costume, which is not suitable for kids at all.
For sure.
So people just kept saying that was me. It was me. It was me. It was me. And I couldn't get away from that. It wasn't me. I tried my best to, like, clear the air. It's another girl, everything.
However, soon after, she leaned into Spider-Man imagery herself, releasing content that played off the same theme. What first appeared as a scandal was reframed into playful engagement, turning controversy into another opportunity for visibility. Taken together, these episodes reveal a pattern that Sophie's public identity is not linear. It thrives on contradiction, as she can position herself as devout while also embracing explicit branding. She can deny a rumor and then fold its imagery back into her content. She can shock audiences with massive earning claims, whether or not every number is verifiable. And for many watching, it was frustrating. As one comment said, "Seriously, that girl needs to stop it." However, this is where strategy expanded far beyond just her personal brand. What amplified Sophie Rain's presence far beyond solo scandals was the Bop House, an adult creator collective that quickly became infamous for its stunts, contradictions, and controversies. The Bop House positioned itself as a content family, blending TikTok-style virality with adult entertainment branding. But what made it worse was that Sophie wasn't a side player. She was the founder of it alongside her cousin Aisha Sophie, who posted a video revealing its name. But by mid-2025, drama was taken to different lengths as Sophie announced she was leaving the Bop House entirely. And the reason she left was because of the feud that was ignited after a clip of Camilla surfaced on X in which she said,
I have a goal in my head and I want to beat Sophie Rain's numbers. I'm pretty close.
Rain wasted no time firing back in a viral tweet. Start having your little brother promote your OF again and maybe you'll get there. She also added that this wasn't about a single comment, but about constant passive-aggressive jabs that finally hit a wall. YouTubers covering the drama emphasized how public and theatrical her exit felt, and how she was still engaging with the Bop House members.
Anyways, Sophie Rain would make numerous TikToks talking about leaving the Bop House, despite continuously still making videos with the members. Now this made it very confusing because many videos made it seem like she had beef with the members, even though she clearly didn't. Most likely just trying to spark more drama to get more views. She would even be seen out in public numerous times with the Bop House members shopping, just further confirming that there was no beef and the drama was most likely just engagement bait.
However, after she left, the group leaned into more drama by staging public auditions for a new member.
Sophie Rain officially left the Bop House.
You know what that means, Boogie? New member, which means we are doing Bop House auditions. Come on now.
The Bop House became proof of how far her strategy could go. Sophie had already turned scandals like the Superman video into visibility, but now, surrounded by collaborators trained in the same playbook, every feud, exit, and audition became part of a rolling drama cycle. And yet, all of this would soon escalate. Even after all the drama with people leaving and being replaced, the Bop House, with Sophie still connected to it, got into a collaboration that caused its biggest backlash yet. That moment came when the group began appearing with Piper Rockell, a teenage influencer whose following is made up largely of kids and early teens. Piper was 17 years old during these interactions, and despite being underage, she appeared in videos with Sophie and other Bop House members. But the worst part was, even if it was meant as a joke, the problem was clear. A minor was being involved with adult creators who are known for OnlyFans content. However, Sophie's influence on Piper was clear when Piper posted a video about how she's copying Rain. This made one thing clear. Sophie and her circle blurred the line between playful influencer content and adult entertainment. And this understandably did not sit well with the public, who said, I don't care if y'all had a tea party, just her even being associated with porn is absolutely inappropriate. Some even wonder how this is not a CBS case. The law needs to catch up with the internet. This was especially troubling because Sophie had said before that she doesn't advertise to kids.
I don't want bad stuff like flying around my name. I don't want people thinking that I advertise to kids because that is the last thing I want.
No, of course, I get that.
Yeah, that was never my intention.
But her actions suggested the exact opposite, as why was she appearing with someone who is 17 and whose fans are even younger? Many who had looked past Sophie's earlier scandals now felt this crossed a line, saying, you really think it's okay for a sex worker / content creator to be collaborating with a minor? In what world is that okay? Before this, there were arguments about her claiming to be a Christian while posting explicit content, but her reputation really took a hit for the Spider-Man video denial and her dramatic exit from the Bop House. However, involving a minor was different, and this backlash marked a turning point, as Sophie was no longer just an adult star using contradictions to stay viral. Now she was tied to a controversy that included questions about minors, safety, and audience protection. I just don't understand how people on the internet can see an actual 17-year-old minor and be okay with saying nasty shit like that it's literally pedo bait. It doesn't matter if she's fully clothed. The intention is still there and it's still being provided for sick people like that. This was proof of Sophie's manipulative strategy at its worst. She could even use someone underage as part of the drama cycle to pull in more views. After the backlash around Piper Rockell, Sophie Rain entered a new stage of her story because the scandals were no longer just about contradictions. Now, her every move became part of a bigger fight over reputation, influence, and responsibility. One of the biggest turning points came during a live stream with MrBeast's Team Water campaign. In the middle of the stream, Sophie leaned in and said something that left everyone stunned. Moments later, the entire chat realized they were watching one of her most shocking moves yet.
I want to donate $1 million is what I want to donate.
Wait. I think my phone, did you say $1 million?
Yes, I want to donate $1 million. No, I'm 100% sure. This is an awesome cause. I appreciate everything you do, and you're just an amazing person. And I just want to support this because it's so awesome.
Whoa.
And this action of hers gained a mixed reaction from the people, where some praised her for giving to a real cause. That was actually a really good move by Sophie. She may not have talent, but she wants to save millions of lives. While others reminded that Sophie made this money from content that many believe harms younger audiences. Dirty as money. Don't worry, we all know. You teach our young women to sell their bodies and souls for money. While grifting as a Christian, God is watching you. Everything got to a point where even Sophie herself posted a Twitter saying, "Call it dirty money, but I still donated 1 million more than you did." But the real play here is that by admitting people could call her money dirty, she controlled the narrative and made sure the conversation stayed centered on her. However, the controversy revolving around her name kept growing as new fights surfaced. Adult creator Annie Knight accused Sophie of lying about her success and manipulating fans. She said Sophie is creating an entirely false narrative which is testing young women that if they join OnlyFans and post bikini photos with no explicit content, they will make $80 million. She went on and added that Sophie was lying about the type of content she creates, claiming she has only ever posted bikini photos when there are strip teases and full nudes featured on her page. Annie also said that Sophie lied about the amount of money she made using fake screenshots that she's earned $80 million in 18 months. Sophie fired back publicly, dismissing the claims. Annie Knight is irrelevant, delusional, and projecting. She commodified her own humiliation and now wants to rewrite the rules for everyone else. My earnings are real and my clothes stayed on. This constant cycle of scandal, followed by backlash and then clapback, reinforced her manipulative strategy. She knew that even negative attention boosted her name in the algorithm, and she was willing to play the villain if it kept her trending. But the biggest concern is not Sophie's feuds or her donation. It is how she looks to children and teenagers who see her online. Sophie often said she never advertises to kids, yet she posts videos with a minor involved on TikTok, a platform filled with young audiences, making her content unavoidable for minors. And that's exactly what makes her presence on these platforms so controversial. As one person online said, "What also bothers me is the way her content and persona bleed into spaces like TikTok, where younger audiences are. It normalizes adult content in a way that's unhealthy, and pretending it's empowering doesn't erase that fact." And the way she tries to tie it all back to religion just makes it worse. It feels manipulative, like she's exploiting faith for clicks and clout. This is why Sophie's story matters beyond her scandals. She is not just flipping hate into headlines, she is shaping what kids think is possible and acceptable online. That is the real manipulative strategy. Not just making millions, but making her lifestyle look like a blueprint for the next generation.